This year's newly crowned Miss Upstate New York is using her platform to raise awareness for a cause that many other young women like herself often experience: anxiety. We sat down with Syracuse University student Kennedy Campbell to hear how it feels to hold the crown. Our Morgan Scott is in studio tonight with more. Morgan?
Kennedy Campbell began her journey of walking in pageants at the age of 15, and her modeling coach at the time was a former pageant queen who noticed Campbell's unique walk. That set her sights on a crown that now gives her a voice. The moment the judges announced Kennedy Campbell as Miss Upstate of 2023, she said it came as a big shock, but when it finally sunk in,
it was very rewarding to be crowned as Miss Upstate New York. Just being able to pick the person who is best for the title, no matter their skin color, no matter their background, no matter what they've been through, and just pick the person who really will move the organization forward.
Campbell says talent is always her favorite part of the pageant competition. It's where she gets to show off her singing, which to her is always a relief from her anxiety.
I do go to school for musical theater, so I always come out with a nice song, and I love talent. I love doing that. It's my passion.
As a child, Campbell was diagnosed with selective mutism disorder. It's an anxiety disorder that leaves her speechless in certain social situations. She may be comfortable speaking at home, but in public, the anxiety can overcome her.
So when I was diagnosed, I felt very alone in it until I was watching World of Dance. And then I saw another little girl on the show had it.
Now, as Miss Upstate New York, Campbell's platform promotes a not-for-profit she formed called Arts for Anxiety.
So then I just wanted to create that not-for-profit to reach out to kids, to let them know with whatever they're suffering with, they're not alone, and here are the resources they can go to, and here are the support groups, and here's what they can do to make themselves feel better, just like I did.
Campbell is also publishing a children's book, only instead of anxiety, this book expresses her experiences as a young Black woman encountering hair discrimination.
No matter whether they have their gown on or not, whether their hair is done or it's in the bonnet, whatever, it doesn't matter. You are a princess no matter what. You might be struggling with whatever you're struggling with, and you might not be as privileged as other people are, and you might see that. You might recognize that unfairness, but never give up.
And Campbell's book is called Rock That Crown and has already been released as of this month. I'll provide information on her book and her Arts for Anxiety organization in my report on cnycentral.com.
Fires are spreading quicker in modern homes, and there's fewer people to tackle them. That's according to the city of Fulton's fire chief, who applied for federal dollars to get more people in the door. Charged not only with protecting Fulton, but surrounding towns and villages with dwindling volunteer corps. Our Connor White is working for you tonight.
The city of Fulton's fire chief is happy to see his department's trucks in park, but knows that can change in an instant.
We don't need the fire department until they're needed, and then they want them 5 minutes ago.
They currently get the job done with 3 people per truck. He wants 4, winning a federal grant of just over $1 million to get it done.
The question is can we operate? Well, we can operate. Can we do it safely?
The idea is to get more folks in uniform to be able to fight fires more quickly and efficiently, something they wouldn't have been able to do with local dollars alone.
It's one of those things that when you need that extra guy, it's invaluable.
Chief Howard says part of the job for Fulton's full-time crew is lending support to smaller volunteer departments like the town of Volney's.
When it comes down to life, time matters.
Volney is suffering from a statewide problem, a shortage of volunteer firefighters. If money is tight, volunteering takes a back seat.
It takes everybody basically to make an income these days. So you're taking away from that when you're here volunteering.
New York State has given local taxing districts the option to provide volunteer firefighters with a 10% property tax exemption, approved now in Onondaga County. Lawmakers haven't yet passed the measure in Volney or Oswego County.
Oh, right.
For now, Volney Fire's President Richard Beach is relying on community events and these face-to-face connections to boost numbers, in a problem that didn't exist when Fulton's fire chief started out as a volunteer in Volney in the early 90s.
Oh, it's changed. It's definitely changed.
Chief Howard says additional training requirements and hours likely play a factor, but beyond that, he's not sure how to rekindle an interest that appears to be burning out.
The latest CDC study says American teens are in a mental health crisis. We've reported on this issue extensively over the past 2 years. Governor Kathy Hochul proposing a $20 million expansion of mental health services in New York schools in her 2024 budget plan. Our Mary Keeler asked a state senator about this funding.
The CDC says schools need to be a strong resource for struggling students with mental health issues at record rates. Governor Hochul hoping to expand mental health services in schools by upping Medicaid payment rates for satellite clinics inside schools. She's also looking to invest $10 million to boost wraparound services in school buildings. Plus, there's a push to use an additional $10 million in grant money towards suicide prevention programs for high-risk youth. Here's Governor Hochul earlier this month.
We give them a good education, but if we don't start thinking about them now and investing in them now, giving them preventative care now, having people embedded in our schools now to identify this, then we are setting these kids up for failure.
I spoke with Mohawk Valley Senator Joseph Griffo about the focus on mental health funding.
It's a significant challenge, but it's something that finally there's a recognition of, and hopefully we'll begin to allocate resources that will make a difference.
This part of the proposed budget for 2024 and already the subject of a joint hearing of the Senate and Assembly last week. Governor Hochul proposing $1 billion to address mental health care in the state.